as always. Make sure we're doing okay. Gotta make sure the audio's working okay. Make sure we're doing okay. Okay, audio's good. Alright guys, so this is going to be a little bit of a different kind of live stream. I want to try to see if I can wrap up two things in one live stream. So this could be a fairly long one. So I'm going to wrap up the Cleveland Browns rebuild, and we are currently in the third season of the rebuild. Last season, I was able to retool the team a little bit without completely having to rebuild them and stay under the salary cap, because we are still in a little bit of a salary cap hell. We had some more money to spend, but now we're going to try to see what we can do in year 3. If we can find a way to make the playoffs and maybe make a deep playoff run. That's not all. This will be the final season of the Browns rebuild. So the 2024 season will be the final season of this Browns rebuild. The main thing I want to see is if can we make the playoffs in year 3? Based on some of the retooling that we've had to do with trading big players, can we find a way to continue to have success for this year in 2024? And then I'm going to jump into a different franchise mode, which features new updated rosters with the Dallas Cowboys, and I'm going to finish up that season. And in that particular live stream series, I've done 2 live streams on that, and the Cowboys are in the playoffs, and I want to see if I can get them to a Super Bowl victory to wrap up that series of live streams. So I'm going to try to see if I can wrap up both things that I've kind of got going in the works, because with it being the beginning of July, we're about over a month away from Madden 24 releasing, so of course I will be picking up that game and seeing all that it has to offer. And I've been looking up some stuff with Madden 24, and something I was talking about last week that would have really helped me with this Browns franchise, with this Browns rebuild, is the ability to restructure contracts. The problem that a lot of the Maddens have had in recent years is that so many teams are over the cap or in salary cap hell the first off season you have after the first season, that you can't do anything. You can't sign free agents. So if you're not a very good team, or you're a team that maybe went 500 and you need maybe just one more good player or one good signing to make the playoffs, or maybe make a playoff run and take the next step in this game, then you have to let players walk. You have to let basically every player walk, or else you're going to be having no salary cap room to do anything. And that's one of the biggest things that I'm noticing about the way that some of these recent Maddens have been. So the fact that you can restructure contracts is going to pay huge dividends. Hopefully that is for current gen and new gen. By that I mean PS4 and PS5 for franchise mode, because that's going to pay off big time when it comes to being able to keep good players by restructuring their contracts. Like, for example, with my Cowboys, had this feature been in this Madden, I would have tried to restructure Ezekiel Elliott's contract to keep him as a Dallas Cowboy, while making him and Tony Pollard a 1-2 punch, with Pollard making pretty much the same amount as Zeke, since they're both basically number 1 running backs. But anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and upgrade players to start out with. We are in the preseason. We're getting ready to start up the 2024 preseason. I'm going to go over the roster going into the final season of the rebuild. We are at 53 men on the roster, and we really do not have any room, I think, to really sign anybody, because we're still paying high salaries to some of the big players that we have going into the final year. So yeah, we have $3.05 million in cap space, which isn't a lot. I'm done with making big trades, because making those trades is really tough just for draft picks and just to get some of those big contracts off of the docket. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the roster going into the final season of the Browns rebuild, and let's see what we're looking like. So Watson is still here, but he's up to an 81. Colt Gore is going to be our second-string quarterback. Colt McCoy did retire, so he's going to be backing him up. And we got Shane Buechele, but these guys are in the 50s, so if Watson goes down, we are going to be in trouble. Demetric Felton is taking over as our second-string running back, and Jarrett Patterson. We still have Nick Chubb. We have no fullback, but that's okay. Amari Cooper's still here. Tevin Pearman is a rookie we drafted out of Penn State, and he's going to be our number 2 receiver since we've traded away Peoples-Jones. But David Bell has emerged as a good receiver so far during this rebuild. His overall has really increased every year, And if Pierman didn't have a higher overall and I didn't want to take him in the second round, then I would have had Bell be the other guy. But I felt like, with trading Peoples-Jones, we needed another receiver. So we decided to draft Pierman. And then we have Jakeem Grant still. Stevenson still here. George Starks, Bo Melton, and Greg Woods. Woods and Starks are two players that have been here for were rookies that we drafted in the first offseason, so they're still here. Njoku's still our tight end to an 87. Pharaoh Brown is backing him up. Casey Rogers is our new left tackle. The offensive line is probably the biggest group that looks different. Casey Rogers, our first-round pick out of LSU, 73 overall. We're going with him at left tackle after we let Willis walk. He was too expensive to bring back. Couldn't afford to keep him. And we got James Hudson III, and then Justin Irving. Joel Batano is still here, 95, our highest rated overall offensive lineman. Lucas Patrick, who we signed in free agency, is 74. Ikafor Jr., he's gone up. We drafted him last offseason, so hopefully he can develop a little bit more this season. And Jack Conklin is still up to an 82 overall, so he's going to be starting our right tackle. Deniso Autry, defensive end, has taken a little bit of a dip because we had Jadeveon Clowney in the first season when we were able to get the Browns to their first Super Bowl. We signed Brandon Graham, but Graham retired at the end of last season, so we had to address defensive end in free agency. So we signed Autry, and we drafted, and we have Brian Stanley from last year from Oklahoma. Garrett's still here. Isaiah Thomas and Alex Wright, they've been with us since the beginning, so they're still here. Ika is our full-fledged defensive tackle. He was our first-round pick out of Baylor in the first offseason, so he's up to an 81. Winfrey and Crockett are our defensive tackles. Jermaine Carter is still here. Left outside linebacker is a weakness on this team. Roth, Roosevelt, they're not much higher. Woods, our starting new middle linebacker, 67. Our best linebacker is Owusu Karamo. He's up to an 84, which is still pretty good. Tony Fields, yeah. Linebacking position is definitely going to be a weak spot this season. And our corners, Denzel Ward, Emerson, and Greedy Williams. But Emerson has at least gotten up to an 80, so I'm actually pretty okay with him as our second-string corner on the opposite of Ward. We brought back John Johnson III. I felt like it was going to be just hard to find another free safety in free agency or the draft that was going to be up to an 84 overall, so I opted to bring him back. And Ronnie Harrison Jr. is now our starting strong safety, 76 overall. Clayton Fidelum, we signed him in free agency, and we also drafted Ruiz. And then Cade York, and we actually don't have a punter, so I got to go out and get a punter. I'm glad I actually noticed that before I got started. Otherwise, we would have been in trouble. So we don't have, obviously, a whole lot of cap room, but we need a punter. So let's go out and just grab one really quick. The highest rated guy probably is going to be asking for a lot of money, so we might have to just get somebody who we can sign. Let's see. We can probably, let's go ahead and maybe see if we can get Cook. Can we sign him? Yeah, we probably got room for him. All right, so we got Logan Cook. We signed him as our punter because we needed a punter. We couldn't go into the season without a punter, and he's an 82 overall, but it's the highest punter that we could sign. And let me go ahead and look at team salary now. Obviously, with signing our punter for the season, that's going to put a dent in the cap. Yeah, so now we're down to 1.74. So we got no room to do anything. This is it. This is the final roster going into the final season of the rebuild. So let's obviously go ahead and advance week by week, because I want to go ahead and do cut days at the end of the season, even though we probably only got to release one player and that's it. Just because, yeah. I don't want to really do upgrade staff. Let's not worry about that. Looks like we did win our first preseason game. And now we're going into the Giants game for week 3 of our preseason schedule. And wrap it up. We lost that one. We can upgrade some players. That's nice. So yeah, our roster size is at 54. So obviously we need to we just really need to cut one player at the end of this preseason. So going to the final game against the Packers in preseason, we're 1-1. They are as well. All right, so now we just got to cut one player, and that's it. And it looks like we got enough skill points to upgrade the staff, so we will do that. All right, well, let's just move Justin Irving over to practice squad. That's the only move we're going to do. We don't need to cut anybody. Let's go ahead and upgrade players as well at the end of the preseason. Yeah. And let's go ahead and go to manage staff. Let's go ahead and upgrade some of the skill trees and see what we can do. Let's go to the offensive coordinator, Will Hudson. Let's see what we can upgrade here. We can probably upgrade a few things. It's 2 of 2, 2 of 2 there. Yeah, let's go over here. Looks like those are locked, so we can't do anything there. Can't do anything there either. Let's go to our defensive coordinator. 2-2 there, 2-2 there. Yeah, 1-1 there. Let's go and upgrade that one. Roadblock. And we've used up all of our staff points for now. We'll more than likely accumulate a good bunch during the season. So now it's the end of the preseason, so let's go ahead and advance to next week. Before we go into the regular season, I'm going to check and see if we have any significant injuries that we have to worry about. So let's see kind of what we have going on here. We can upgrade players, so we'll do that first. Let's go ahead and let's see here what we've got. Do we have any injuries? Any injuries to worry about? Got one injury. David Njoku's out for 1 week with a turf toe. But it's only 1 week, so he's going to miss the first game of the season against the Colts, it looks like. Yeah, that's who we're playing in week 1. So Pharaoh Brown's going to be our only active tight end for this game, which stinks. You know, our only active tight end, and we have no depth behind him going into this game. But our roster's at 53. We have basically no cap room to probably sign anybody to back up Njoku. So we're just going to have to go with it as is. So let's go ahead and simulate to the middle of the season, and let's see where the Browns are at. You know, going into year 3, this is arguably the worst roster that we have had. So I'm not going to be surprised if we don't make the playoffs this year. And if we don't, then it is what it is, and it's just a sign that based on the way that the Browns were in cap hell and how much you want to keep a consistent thing going, it's just not enough, and you have to accept that, hey, you're going to take you're going to take a few steps back a few years into a rebuild with the current Browns team. At least for Madden 23, the 2022 Browns. So we'll see kind of where we're at in the middle of the season. Hopefully we're not too bad. Hopefully we can still have a chance of winning the AFC North, but we'll see. Hope everybody's having a good Monday. I know that tomorrow's the 4th. My off days are Monday and Tuesday anyway, but most people will be off on the 4th as well. So, I don't know. I might look at some fireworks from my apartment. There's a big fireworks celebration that's happening downtown where I live, but I don't really want to deal with crowds during that because it can get pretty hectic downtown where I live here in Corpus. Okay. Well, we're not doing so hot. We're 3-4, but we're excuse me. Sorry, y'all. But we are second in our division, and we actually have a game against the Bengals this week, who are 4-3, who are number 1 in the division. And if we beat, might be able to leapfrog them. So let's go ahead and upgrade some players. We may have some injuries based on the fact that I upgraded Felton. So has Chubb been banged up or anything like that? Let's see what's going on. Has anybody gotten hurt over these first 7 games or 7 weeks? Demetric Felton Jr. Whoa, my God. Fractured elbow. He's out 14 weeks. Wow. Well, that is not good. 14 weeks. Oh, man. You know what? Yeah, I'm going to have to place you on IR. All right. So let me see if we have any sort of wiggle room to sign another running back. Because I don't know if I want to proceed with just 2 running backs on the team at this point. But I'm pretty sure our cap number is still looking the same. So I don't think we can sign anybody. Oh, so we actually have $3.24 million in cap room. Okay, so we actually have a little bit of wiggle room here to go out and sign a running back. I'm not going to worry about trading for one because we got Nick Chubb back there, who's up to a 99 overall. He's basically an overpowered running back at this point of the rebuild, so I'm not worried about signing somebody that's too up there. Let's see if we can get Hines in here. He fits our scheme too, so I like that. 1 year, 2.05. Yeah. Okay, so we got Hines backing up Chubb, which will be good because we've sent we've sent Felton to IR, and let me adjust the depth chart a little bit, and let's kind of see what what that's kind of looking like for our new running back situation here. Now, obviously, that's going to help. So yeah, Hines, 78. Patterson, yeah, we're in better shape now with that. So we're in a little bit better shape now with our backup running back with Hines being in there, and it looks like Njoku's been back from injury, so I'm not worried about him. We just kind of double check the depth chart a little bit here and see if everybody's if it looks the way that I want it to look, because I might need to make some adjustments, but I don't think I need to. We're still looking pretty good, so yeah. Yeah, Myles Garrett's up to a 99 too, so we got like 2 99 overall players, which I think will definitely help considering just how depleted we are. So that's pretty big. Woods and Fields, yeah. So I kind of like the fact that Fields, I mean, those guys are interchangeable. Left doesn't have to be exactly on the left, and right linebacker doesn't have to be on the right. So as long as we have that, I'm still accepting that. That's perfectly fine. We have 1 staff skill point, but that's not going to be enough to buy any upgrades. So, yeah, I don't really care about. You know what? Just out of curiosity, let me see what players are in the last year of their deals. And something tells me some of these guys, we're going to let walk anyway. So yeah, Chubb is there. Cooper's there. Yeah, these guys are, yeah. Just to show some love to some of these, yeah. Let me just try to show some love to Chubb, and let's just try to, bring him back in here. $6 million total. Yeah, that's a good offer. Glad we got the deal done. $65 million we still have, so that's good. And let's go ahead and try to bring Amari back as well. I know that this is the last year, but let's go ahead and show him some love a little bit. But some of these other guys, Romo, he's still up there in an 84, so let's go ahead and show him some love as well. But I think as far as the rest of these guys, we're going to let them walk away, but still. I know this is the last year of the rebuild, but so this doesn't really matter. But just wanted to commit to Chubb and Amari Cooper for the future if we can, just to kind of make some things do good. So let's answer some media questions. So we're at midpoint of the season. Final year of his contract. Well, we already got the deal done. So yeah. Is this media question also going to be? Oh no, it's not going to be about Chubb. It's probably going to be about the fact that we're 3-4 at the midpoint of the season. Oh, okay. Can you negotiate and get there? Okay, well we've already gotten there. Didn't you read the news flash, Coachman? We signed our guys back. They're coming back. So yeah. All right. So now this is where we kind of just go. So you know what? Let's go ahead and send to the playoffs. Since this is the last year of the rebuild, let's go ahead and send to the playoffs and see if we make it. Something tells me we have a pretty good shot at doing that. And since, like I said, since this is the final year of the rebuild, I want to see if I can kind of speed this up a little bit and just see where we're at. Really no adjustments, trades and everything. That's off the table. I'm not going to worry about that. We're just going to see, we're just going to simulate to the playoffs and see where we are. Hopefully we can make it in year 3. I mean, Nick Chubb's a 99 overall. He's become a 99 overall halfback during this rebuild. So I mean, that's you'll take that if you're the Browns. Trust me. If you're and also we've really rebuilt the Browns into a formidable, respectable team and an organization that needs to be reckoned with. I mean, we've made the play. I mean, since I've taken over, or Sonny Weaver Jr. has, the Browns won a Super Bowl in the first year, and then we went to the AFC Championship game the next year, and we were able to, this year hopefully we make the playoffs again. That's a good 3-year run. We basically set up the Browns to be successful in the future with whoever takes over. So as far as rebuilding, we've just really we haven't rebuilt the Browns from a terrible team into a Super Bowl team. We just rebuilt them and got them over the hump enough to be able to be a competing team in the playoffs, win the division consistently, and win one championship. So, their first championship. So that's pretty significant, if you ask me, in terms of rebuilding a team. Not rebuilding from the ground up, but just building in general. Well, that's not the way that we wanted to end it, so unfortunately the buck stops here. We went 7-10, and we finished 3rd, and we did not make the playoffs. Disappointing. Yeah, let's go ahead and look at the roster and see if we had any big injuries during the season. Well, I guess the turnaround kind of ends right where it began. So, no, Felton's the only significant injury. Fairbrand has dislocated hip, so he's out for a week. So I'm just guessing that it must have been a deal where, while we got a little bit worse over the 2 years, the Steelers and Bengals got better. The Steelers won the division at 12-5, so, yeah, they must have leapfrogged the Bengals at some point. So I'll go ahead and take a look and see what happens in the final year of this, just to see what happens. So it kind of sucks that in the final year of this rebuild we didn't make the playoffs. But I got Nick Chubb on a long-term deal, so basically whoever takes over after this is going to have, it's going to have, plenty of, good, they're going to have plenty of, they're going to have plenty to look forward to. So, stinks that we go 7-10, we don't make the playoffs, but it is what it is. So we're in the divisional round now. Let's go ahead and sim to, I want to see what guys we have that made the Pro Bowl, so I'm just going to go week by week for the playoffs. Scout college players thing prompt up just to see what that is looking like, but it doesn't really matter. View Pro Bowl roster. Let's see what happened. Let's see who made it from our side. No Nick Chubb. Wow. A little surprised. Bitinoyo made it. One of our left guard. He made the Pro Bowl. Myles Garrett there again. 3 consecutive years, Pro Bowl. Way to go. Do we have any defensive backs make it? No. Just Bitonio, our offensive guard, and Myles Garrett made the Pro Bowl this year. So we got at least 2 Browns representing. Was Myles Garrett in contention for maybe best Defensive Lineman of the Year. Maybe in the AFC. Well, we'll see. Yeah, they don't. Oh yeah, I forgot. They don't reveal those awards until after the Super Bowl. So yeah. So Pro Bowl week is done. We got this year's Super Bowl is the Chiefs against the 49ers. So that'll be interesting. Let's go ahead and view yearly awards. Let's kind of take a look and see. So Lamar Jackson is a Denver Bronco now. Wow, and he won MVP this year. Unbelievable. Coach of the Year went to Nathaniel Hackett. In this universe, he hasn't been fired. All right. So let's go to the AFC. Offensive Player of the Year went to Josh Jacobs. No sign of Chubb or anybody else from the Browns up there. Defensive Player of the Year. Myles Garrett finished second for Defensive Player of the Year in the AFC. How about that? Impressive. Offensive Rookie of the Year. Oh, Tevin Pearman. Ooh. Second place for Offensive Rookie of the Year. Our now second string receiver. That's pretty nice. Something tells me that was a good draft pick. So in the years, whoever takes over the Browns next after this rebuild, I have a pretty solid receiver to work with. Maybe, if Amari Cooper retires in the near future, or they get rid of him, even though we did sign him to a new contract. Best quarterback. No sign of Watson. Chubb finished 7th for AFC best running back. That's cool. Receiver of the Year. No sign of Cooper. Offensive lineman. Bitonio, he went to the Pro Bowl. He finished 8th. Best defensive lineman, Myles Garrett finished 2nd. Wow, almost there. Had a feeling he was going to be in the running. No linebacker of the year nominations. And Greedy Williams, 6 for defensive back of the year in the AFC. That's pretty cool. Kicker, no sign of York. And no sign of our punter either. So that is the yearly awards. So a couple of Browns getting some love. Bitonio and Myles Garrett looks like they were the only Browns that really received any recognition at the end of the season. Both of them made the Pro Bowl. Bitonio finished in the middle of the pack in the AFC for Offensive Lineman of the Year, and Garrett finished 2nd for Defensive Player of the Year in the AFC and Defensive Lineman in the AFC. So not bad. So let's see who wins the Super Bowl. Got the Niners going up against the Chiefs. I'm assuming Mahomes is still on the Kansas City Chiefs, so could be another chance for him to get a ring. All right, well, let's take a look at the season recap here. So, the Chiefs win the Super Bowl. So, they've now won their 3rd championship because obviously they had it in '69. They won it in 2019. And so, in this universe, this is their 3rd championship that they won, getting revenge for the 2020 Super Bowl. MVP went to Patrick Mahomes. And, Offensive Player of the Year went to Cooper Kupp. Defensive Player of the Year, Greg Rosenthal. Clayton Sexton won Offensive Rookie of the Year, according to the quarterback for the Chargers. A Defensive Rookie of the Year went to Roderick Tillman, a defensive lineman from the defensive tackle from the Rams. Okay. And to kind of recap last season, that happened in the first full offseason of the rebuild. And, the first year when we took over, won the Browns to their first championship. So, yeah, just kind of to recap how things have been in these 3 years that we've been in this particular rebuild with the Browns. I'll go ahead and upgrade players just for old time's sake. And kind of just, wrap things up. I do want to go ahead and take a look and see what's kind of changed about the NFL in this particular universe, if you will. I want to go ahead and kind of see who's still in the league, who's not in the league anymore. Mainly I want to see how quarterbacks are looking for the NFL right now. So we obviously know that Watson is still a Brown. What about the Bears? So Justin Fields is still their quarterback. Joe Burrow's still the Bengals quarterback. Josh Allen. So Lamar Jackson is now a Denver Bronco. So I'm guessing I think after the 2nd season he must have become a free agent. And the second year of the rebuild that we have, the Ravens were in contention with us for the division title, and they must have just let Jackson walk. But he's 99 overall. So basically what I picked up on is that in Madden 23, if you do a rebuild, if you're doing any franchise mode, Lamar Jackson pretty much is going to become a free agent in the second season. Because I noticed him become a free agent in the second season of other rebuilds that I've done as well. Like in the last one that I did with the Bucks, he went to the Falcons. And that was really tough because the Bucks and the Falcons are in the same division. So we had to deal with him twice a year by year 3, year 4 of the rebuild, which was one of the reasons why we had a tough time getting into the playoffs, because we were losing good players, they were retiring. And Lamar Jackson at 99 overall, what can you do? There's not much you can do, especially in a simulation style with simming based on overalls to try to get your team to beat him. And we know about Watson. So Jacoby Brissett is now the starting quarterback for the Buccaneers. This is the team that I rebuilt the last time. And Fournette is still with them. So kind of similar to the rebuild that I was going for. They still kept Godwin and they kept Gabe Davis. And they don't have Evans anymore. And, Auden became their tight end. So kind of like I did with the rebuild, with the Bucks, they had to let go of some guys too. Kyler Murray's still the Cardinals. So the Chargers have really changed. Let me see where Justin Herbert ended up, because they got the Rookie of the Year in Clayton Sexton. Well, I shouldn't say Rookie of the Year. He won Offensive Player of the Year. Something like that. One of those. Mahomes. So C.J. Stroud is a Colt. So the Colts in the first offseason drafted C.J. Stroud to be their new quarterback. They still have Ellinger, but yeah, they have C.J. Stroud as their quarterback now. And the Washington Commanders have Tua as their new quarterback. Oh, well, wow. I'm not sure what happened there. Maybe his contract ran out or they traded him. Let's see how my Cowboys are looking. Drew Lock is backing up Dak. That's pretty interesting. Tony Pollard and Zeke are actually still on the Cowboys at this point. Wow, they must have found room for both of them. They must not have re-signed any good defensive players. So, yeah. Lamb and Gallup are still there. So, yeah, but a bunch of no-name guys. They kept Dalton Schultz, and they kept Ferguson and Hendershot. So, yeah, the offensive line is still looking the same. McGovern's still there. They got a new center. Martin's still there. Steele's still there. Lawrence is still there. This guy, Jonathan Greenard, is new. Well, Lawrence is still there, so they must have let some guys walk. Also, Diggy Zua is still there. Clark. Van Der Esch is nowhere to be seen. And Micah Parsons is still there, though. Bland is the Cowboys' best cornerback? Wow. But he's only a 79 overall, so Trayvon Diggs, they must have let him walk. Dane Jackson. William Jackson III. Yeah, Kelvin Joseph's still there. Looks like they just drafted a bunch of corners. Let a bunch of guys walk. Hooker's still there. So is Donovan Wilson. And Cameron Dicker is their new kicker. That's funny. So yeah, looks like Dallas is, they changed up their roster a little bit. Most notably Trayvon Diggs isn't there. Yeah, actually, let me keep looking at some rosters because I want to see if some of the older quarterbacks for this particular time are still there, or if some of them are retired. Because I stopped at Dallas, I forgot to check out the other teams. Dolphins. So what do the Dolphins do? So Mike White is their new starting quarterback at a 69 overall. They must have had a pretty bad season if Mike White at 69 is who they went with as their quarterback. I mean, Bijan Robinson won Rookie of the Year at 89 overall. That's solid, but it looks like he was injured. And Tyreek Hill's up to a 98, and Waddle's still there. So even though White's a 69 overall, he's throwing to two 90 overall receivers. So did not expect Tua not to be on the Dolphins by this point, so that's interesting. And Geno Smith is the Eagles' starting quarterback. Let's see what happened to Hurts. So Justin Herbert is a Falcon. And look at Baker Mayfield backing him up. But Mayfield's down to a 70. Jeez. So Mayfield at this point in year 3 of this universe has hit the backup quarterback market. Brock Purdy's still the starter in San Francisco. Trey Lance is his backup now. That's interesting. So the Giants have a new quarterback, Jaron Hall, who's been there for 2 years. Teddy Bridgewater's his backup. So the Giants have started over. Not sure where Daniel Jones went. Lawrence is still the starting quarterback in Jacksonville. Zach Wilson, no Aaron Rodgers there yet. So Jalen Hurts went to the Lions, and he's now their starting quarterback. And wait, Goff is still on the team, but he's 77. So wow, Goff has really dipped. So Goff is second string behind Hurts. And Aaron Rodgers is still there. 20 years in the NFL. Goodness gracious. But his overall has dipped pretty significantly. I mean, he's down to a 78. That's not that great. The Packers must be kind of treading water. I mean, Aaron Jones is a 93, but yeah, receivers are okay, but they only got guys in the 80s, and Tunyon is only at 83, so Packers must not be doing well, but Aaron Rodgers still wants to keep playing here. So Will Levis, finally not having to deal with him being a part of the rebuild, because that was kind of annoying for 2 straight rebuilds. I drafted him to be the new quarterback of the franchise I was taking over. So he ended up going to Carolina, and he's an 80 overall. So he must have been higher rated than maybe like Bryce Young or Stroud, but he's up to an 80. And Darnold is backing him up. So Darnold's still in Carolina. Mac Jones still a Patriot. Derek Carr is still a Raider, even though in real life he got traded to the Saints. And the Rams have completely changed. Matthew Stafford probably retired, if I'd have to guess. And I think Matt Ryan also retired at some point during these 3 years. So Emmett Bates is the new Rams quarterback. He's been in the league for 1 year. He's a 7-9 overall. Marcus Mariota, wearing number 20, is the Ravens starter. I mean, obviously, since Lamar Jackson left them after the second year, they had to go with somebody else. But Marcus Mariota, you're going with him as the answer? Wow. 65 overall, wearing number 20. That's interesting. And the Saints have Jimmy Garoppolo as their starter, but he's only 66, so he has dipped a lot. Kirk Cousins is the starting quarterback for the Seahawks at 69, so his overall is dropped. Pickett is still the starter in Pittsburgh. Davis Mills still starting in Houston. I'm surprised they kept him as long as they did. Russell Wilson is the starter for the Tennessee Titans. 73, so he's regressed. And Jordan Love, the former Packer. So the Packers let Jordan Love walk, but they've kept Aaron Rodgers, who's now been in the league for 20 years. So he went to the Vikings. That's like the reverse Brett Favre thing. A Packer going to the Minnesota Vikings. Where have I heard that before? Brett Favre must have called Jordan Love and said, "Hey, go to this team and you get to play the Packers twice a year and beat Aaron Rodgers. You want to do that?" It's like, yeah, I do. I mean, I don't blame Jordan Love, and I'm just kind of writing up, the social media headlines and everything, since they don't really do like breakout stories or stuff like that in this game. So that must have been what happened, and it probably happened like a year or two ago. So yeah. So things have changed. I'm surprised that Aaron Rodgers is still in the league. I mean, he's dipped to a 79. So if we were to play this season, it probably would be his last year. And I think Brady retired after the second year, so yeah, there's no more Tom Brady. There's been some more good players that have retired. So, yeah. Well, that's going to do it for the Browns rebuild. I appreciate y'all that have tuned in to check this out. And as far as any other rebuilds on the horizon, I don't really know if that is going to be maybe late in July, I might do one more rebuild for Madden, but I'm also thinking about other games that I might want to live stream that aren't sports related, because I've been doing Madden on this channel for like 2 years in a row, nothing but Madden, and I might want to take a break from that. But one live stream that I will be doing is when it gets to early August and football season is literally beginning. I'll play the Hall of Fame game. I'll play with updated rosters with the Jets and the Browns. And I'll play that game, and that'll probably be my final Madden 23 video before I move on to 24. The player, my career mode, if you want to call it, in this game, I've played that off and on, not on live stream, but I don't like it. I really don't like it. I mean, I live streamed the first bit of it. there's no college, and you're just doing practices every week. You can't even simulate the practices. So what I was trying to do was simulate, multiple weeks if I could, because, what usually happens in these later Maddens is that if your guy's a quarterback, you basically make the Pro Bowl in year one. And I was going to simulate through like the last few games of my rookie year and play the Pro Bowl. But based on the pace, it seems like it's going to take me forever to get there. So I'm probably not going to do anything else with that unless I really want to try to do some kind of narrative story or something like that. I don't know. In late July, hopefully these modes change in the new Madden, and I've heard that franchise is going to change. Like I said, there's going to be contract restructuring, which I'm very excited to see, because that's going to pay dividends for when I do a Cowboys franchise live stream for Madden 24. But speaking of the Cowboys, let's go ahead and get to the playoffs for my Cowboys 2022 season with updated rosters. So let's go ahead and open up this one, and let's go ahead and get back into it. And with this one, I haven't made any trades or anything like that. So we finished the regular season 10-7, respectable but not super great. And now let's go ahead and play our first wildcard game against the Arizona Cardinals. I'll do the moments for all of the games except the Super Bowl, if fortunately I make it that far. But we'll have to wait and see. Let me just go ahead and make sure that the uniforms are right. We're wearing our home uniforms. Cool. And obviously, like you saw in the last two videos with this Cowboys updated roster sets of two live streams, updated here. I got Brandon Cooks. I got Gilmore. And, yeah. This team is good enough to win a Super Bowl in this game and at least make a deep playoff run in real life. I'm excited about Dallas' season. I'm really excited for the trades that they made, getting a good receiver to help with Lamb and, another corner to basically make it probably the best secondary in the NFL.
Today,
who's passing on the Cowboys when you have Trayvon Diggs, Stephon Gilmore, Malik Hooker, Donovan Wilson, and Jaron Kearse? That's an unbelievable secondary, if you ask me, and it's arguably the best in the league. So I don't know who's going to be passing on us this game. So they're throwing us right into the action right away. And here we go.
Opening drive of the game.
Wild card game against the
Dallas
Cardinals.
Cowboys. Here we go.
Appropriately named.
Dak going to start out going to the air.
There we go, Lamb.
This one quick.
Truck in there. There we go.
And they work
First down, CD.
Across the 45. First catch of this
good start
game for a 1,000-yard receiver in the regular season. He's got a first down, too. Looking to throw. Prescott.
Got a little dump off right there to
throwing for his
Tony Pollard, who escaped out of the backfield and made a nice catch. Pollard's speed is unreal sometimes. He gets into open space. It's like a streak of lightning.
He's inside the 40.
And now it's his show in Dallas.
For the first time with Tony
One more Zeke. Ronald Jones is a good solid backup. And listen, I'd love for them to bring back Zeke on a restructured deal, but it's not happening.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. On play action, Prescott.
Still got in the way. Just throw it away.
And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete.
Well, it's third down and 6 yards to go.
I saw this one with defensive eyes because even as he escaped the pocket in block time, the coverage stayed tight. Nothing broke down. Throwing it away, that was his only option.
Get that first. There we go.
Complete. That's Ferguson.
You create some space for yourself.
And they're going to
Ferguson's shoulders look jacked right now. I don't know what the design idea was, but he's too jacked up in the shoulders. That doesn't look. That really doesn't look like him.
Getting it on a jet sweep.
We're running a reverse to Gallup here, and we picked up another first down.
10 more there and another first down.
Would have preferred CD to get that, but personnel was looking a little different on that run.
They
So
run
far, we're
straight
looking pretty
ahead
good.
here with Pollard.
All a really nice run. Gains 6 yards.
Inside the 10.
Capitalize on this first possession.
It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Change it. You know what? No. Let's go with a... Let's see if Pollard can wheel route. Let's go. It actually wasn't Pollard. That was Malik Davis. Least likely person you would expect on the opening drive touchdown, but Malik Davis, nice wheel route, catches it, touchdown Dallas. We're on the board early. Cardinals got a 3rd and 5 here.
Dial up here to try and thwart this
third down situation. Off the field right here.
Here's Murray as he sets to throw.
Coming in with oh, we got a pick from Van Der Esch. Let's go. Shut that drive down. Big interception right there from Van Der Esch. Nice shutdown there. 3rd down and 7.
This defense already looking at a deficit on the scoreboard, but now
all right.
what can they design?
Off to a strong start. Stop the Cardinals on our first defensive possession that we had. And we got a touchdown on our first offensive drive. But I want to pick up this first. Let's auto the slant. Let's go to Cooks. Brandon Cooks gets the first down easily.
And they'll get this down to the 10.
First and goal here. We're going to run with Pollard. Pollard.
They'll go with Pollard here on first down.
Oh, he's quite lower my shoulders this time, but I'm down to the 1-yard line. Let's run it again.
2nd and goal.
Do some more power football here.
Pollard again.
Touchdown, Tony Pollard.
For a Cowboys score.
We got a nice double-digit lead on Arizona. They drove down the field and they are now 1 touchdown back. Back on defense. Just under the 2-minute warning. We got the Cardinals in the 3rd down and 8. Let's get them off here.
Here's Murray from midfield.
If we can. Oh, that pass was way off. The ditch was right there, but we got pressure on Murray's face, so that was big. It's a nice play there. We got the ball back. We got a chance to get some points before the half, so let's see if we can.
They've got the football, but on their own side of the field. First down, Prescott.
Oh,
and the pressure will bring him down here. The Cardinals get home for the sack.
Let's go with a hurry up here.
Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back.
Okay there. Oh, really well, actually.
He'll be out of bounds, just shy of the
got out of bounds, and he's 1 yard short. That's a nice job by calling. A little worried about calling the screen pass in that situation because
to pick up the first down.
You know what? We can still run the football a little bit here.
Trying to run for it with Pollard.
Did a draw play. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure I got the first.
Good enough for the first. And the offense moving quickly to the line.
Let's change up the personnel a little bit here. I know it burns more time.
First and 10, Prescott.
He'll
find Lamb. That's complete.
Timeout.
Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Coming up on a 2nd and 6.
Doing okay right now.
Throwing, Prescott.
Lamb. Okay, he broke free. There we go.
He's caught by Lamb.
Go ahead and run out of bounds. Preserve some of that time.
And he is out of bounds inside the 35. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
46 seconds here.
Here's Prescott.
Cooks.
So that's complete.
That block.
Cooks.
Nice.
He gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. Now another timeout.
Well, we're already in field goal range, so I don't want to.
As they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half.
I think it's tighter inside the
20. Down into 12, it's 1st and 10. To throw is Prescott.
Gallup. Slant route maybe right there. Oh, where is he? Is he short? Yeah, okay.
And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line.
22 seconds. Oh, that was a bad
throw. Knocked away. It's incomplete.
It's
not the first time they've gone his way on this drive, and they were obviously keyed into
blindingly throwing it and risking a pick because it could have been a pick easily. Slant to Lamb. Wide open for the touchdown. Let's go. Take it right down the field. Now we're back up by 14. And we are. The Cardinals are having another good drive on us, but they got a 4th down and 1 here. Let's fill the gaps here, and let's try to stop this running game.
Leading the tough
the fullback. Okay, all right. Well, at least they tried a fullback there. You don't see that happen in Madden anymore. So they got a field goal. And we're in the 4th quarter now. We're still up 11, so we're in still pretty solid shape.
Time to see if this defense is up
to the task. No, let's go with a power.
On 3rd down, it's Pollard. And he'll be
been a little bit risky running the ball, but we gained 3 yards, so I'm not complaining. And we proceeded to score on that play. So nice. Looks like we got a turnover as well. So we're on the verge of putting this one out of reach.
Following the interception.
I mean, Arizona's not a very good team. I mean, they're good enough to make the playoffs, obviously.
Down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
But kind of a team that's really kind of just really a speed bump more than anything in our first playoff game.
Now a give here to
Pollard. Oh, that's a face mask if I've ever seen one.
Quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
I'll take half the distance to the goal, but
they're down here in the 4th, and that
but it gives us a 1st and goal, so we have 2 more downs.
Situations, players will tell you that's
94
extra
will.
intensity.
Let's get another rushing touchdown for Pollard.
It's actually frustration, not a good play.
Pollard will take
touchdown,
this into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Well, look, this is a team, Charles. They faced adversity all year.
A 4th and goal from the Cardinals. They're just trying to get any points to win
drop you into this situation. Offense staying out there, and they are going on 4th down. They run forward.
No, sir.
And nowhere to go.
Denied.
He's going to be stopped behind the line.
I'm going to run the football on us easily like that. And that'll do it. So we win our first playoff game, wild card round 35-10 over the Arizona Cardinals. Cliff Kingsbury's probably fired.
Everyone's gunning for the Super Bowl. That's the ultimate. But you have to get there in incremental steps.
You know, something light. I mean,
one step closer.
Arizona's Arizona, at least for this year. I'm guessing they still probably have the
for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gunn.
Murray's not a
presentation
super
of the NFL
so.
on EA Sports.
Kind of just really a speed bump for our first playoff game. We'll take a look at the rest of the wild card week and see what else happened around the league. See who's moving on and who's packing their bags and heading home. So yeah, I got some awards. Can upgrade Clark. Let's do that. Actually, I guess we can. All right. So we got the divisional round coming up next, and we got the Lions. Let's see what happened in the rest of the league. So the Eagles beat the Panthers. They're moving on, so that's an upset. The number 2 seed going down in the NFC. And we beat the Cardinals, of course, and the Lions beat the Bucks. So that's what happened on the NFC side of things. AFC, Bills beat the Jets, Titans beat the Patriots, and the Ravens blew the Steelers out big time. So divisional round: Chargers, Bills, Ravens, Titans, Cowboys, Lions, and Eagles, Niners. So divisional round coming up. And we're also going to be playing the divisional round game at home too. So we're going to have some home field advantage in our second playoff game as well, going up against Dan Campbell and the Detroit Lions. Just double check the uniforms here. Yeah, they're right. All right. We'll see how much of a challenge the Lions are. My guess is they'll be a little bit of a challenge, but we'll have to wait and see. Trying to get this roster, Super Bowl or bust for this team. Trying to get them to a championship. Trying to win it. Just like playing with the updated rosters, give myself a little bit of a preview for what the next game will have. just fun and exciting. And I hope you guys are having a good time too.
Tonight, from AT&T Stadium.
All right, this is the hump that Dallas has struggled to get over for a long time. Divisional round is pretty much been Dallas'
first for this offense, and they have it in a tough
So we
spot.
started a little bit further back for our first drive.
They'll run
the Lions
Pollard to begin the drive.
And we start out with a 4-yard rush by Pollard. We'll take it, but not, anything super spectacular.
Benefits of being able to run the ball successfully. They pick up 4 yards on that carry. So now, if you're a play caller, you can do just about
that guy almost tipped the ball. Wow. But I was just able to get that in that tight window to Brandon Cooks. So he's got the first.
Do I need to blitz it? Do I need to pressure it? How do I gain an advantage on this snap?
Now it's a bootleg with Prescott.
Ferguson. Ooh, nice grab. There we go.
That's Ferguson.
Nice job. First down.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. It'll be a handoff to Pollard. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Now Prescott. He gets it to Cooks. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground.
Big time by 34 there, but he still hung on to it. I didn't read that well at all. And Dak just got back to the line. Oh, actually, he gained a yard.
Second down.
That call makes sense because they've been
we'll take it, but that's not good at all.
They show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
Now he's going to swing this one.
That screen didn't really develop that well, and now we got a 3rd down and 9.
Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's 3rd down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage.
Yeah, Pollard might have broken that if he didn't get tripped up by his ankles.
Develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick
big
pass
play.
in front of them and stop.
First down to Ferguson.
And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 28.
A stretch alert here. Oh, that was way off.
But it's incomplete.
Anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try to hit that route to the outside in this game. He'll test the perimeter, but that time they were up to the challenge.
Nice catch, Cooks. Nice seam route. Glad I audible to that.
But not before he reaches the 8-yard line. And perhaps now close to the first points of this divisional round game as it's 1st and goal.
Fake the sweep, hand off to Pollard,
and
he gets down to the
2-yard line.
I like that run.
A good run of 6 yards there, gets him closer to the goal line with 2nd down coming up.
Throw the trap. Bread and butter here. Pollard can still run in between the tackles.
Touchdown.
We scored just before the quarter ends.
Tony Pollard.
That's our first points of the game.
It in from 2 yards.
Second quarter just getting underway, and we got the Lions in a long 3rd down situation here, but gotta get him off the field.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
Oh,
that's going to be
got him down. There we go. Nice tackle by Andrews. Andrews was all over the place last game. Expect a similar result in this one. And the Lions are going for it on 4th and 4. I did not expect them to do this. It's audible to a little bit more coverage here. Let's go cover 2.
They go ahead and snap it.
And incomplete.
It's incomplete. They cannot.
Wow, that was a nice job by our defense to get them off the field. Going on 4th down. A little bit surprised they do it that early, but if it's Dan Campbell, it's Dan Campbell. He's a crazy maniac of a coach. Some of the calls he was making in that final regular season game against the Packers that they lost, and what kind of animation was that? I'm sorry. I gotta go to. Can I go to the replay? Because I want to see what happened with Pollard on that play. I mean, y'all saw that. I tried to hit, up on the right stick to truck, and instead he did a forward somersault and just
Play action now. Prescott.
Like, what was that animation? I just want to know what that animation was.
He just tosses this one away.
And I'm thinking so much about that animation that I didn't really read it, and I just threw it all away.
After the incomplete pass, here
that
now is 2nd and 10.
And the thing is, something tells me that I'm going to see a lot of those similar animations in the new Madden as well. Could have run it, but I just figured, let's run it back.
Good coverage downfield.
Didn't run a whole lot within the last game, so
picking up the first down on a 13-yard run. Off the play fake, Prescott.
Play fake. I said fact, though.
He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And that'll
Did
be
he catch that?
incomplete.
No, he didn't. Wow, so we've had a few incompletions on this drive.
Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
Keep this going.
Prescott.
Oh, that was a bad throw off my back foot, too. That was not a good read. But we're in field goal range, so let's go ahead and kick a field goal with Maher.
Force the incompletion and get off the field on 3rd down.
The kick by Crosby is good.
Or Crosby, I should say. Sorry, I forgot that I signed Mason Crosby to be the new kicker. I think we got rid of Vizcaíno, if I recall.
So that one on target, and
we might have.
I can't first half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about 1-score lead, 2-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Lions.
So wait, let me go back to options. Can I go back to the simming? Because right now I think we're playing every play. I think I turned simming off.
Offense ready to kick off their next drive.
Let's see. Can I? I probably can't do it.
They're coming off a 4th down gamble that last drive that backfired CD, but really not as badly as it could. Their defense held up and only gave up 3 points.
And what they wanted to do was play off the momentum the defense gave them, only giving up the 3 points in that.
Yeah, let's see here. Call plays. Super Sim. Here we go. Custom play options. Play key moments. Yeah. There we go. Back to our regular settings.
Just inside of 2 minutes for this offense. 2nd quarter. They've got the football, but on their own side of the field.
I wanted to hit the long bomb, but didn't work. But he hit Gallup with a nice route right there.
They'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. And they're going to hurry back to the line now.
Screen pass again.
Prescott looks to throw on first. Now they go screen. It's complete.
Go Pollard.
And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2. Prescott yet again.
Oh, Gallup almost had that one.
Incomplete. Trying to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Prescott now.
Fehoko. Oh,
bad throw. Oh, he did everything but hold on to it. But a nice play defensively, and now it brings up 4th down.
Should we get a good punt with Anger here?
On to punt now, Anger, as he boots this one away.
Nice.
This one angles out of bounds.
Out at
a
the
good
5.
spot
Let's go,
in the
Anger.
coffin corner. They're going to mark this out of the 5-yard line.
That's double win there, partner. You keep out of the return man's hand.
So the Lions got a field goal. We're here in this. Oh, not even in the 3rd quarter. Wow, so this has been kind of a little bit of a snooze fest. We scored a field goal in the 2nd. The Lions got a field goal in the 3rd, and there was barely any action in the 3rd. So now we're here in the 4th quarter. We still got a 7-point lead. But this game is a lot more low scoring, so we're going to have to make some plays to come away with the win in this one.
And it's going to be another first down.
Always gets tougher every round. Can't take anything for granted. Got a 1st and 5, so we must have gotten a offsides penalty
in the red zone.
on the previous play.
Has it with a 1st down.
I like this play. We fake the sweep. We still run it with Pollard up the middle. And it was wide open. Let's go. Touchdown, Tony Pollard. Made a few moves. Found a crease. Touchdown.
With his second touchdown.
Running the football well in this one. Well, the Lions are still in this thing. It's now 3rd down and 3. We're up by 7.
A tight game in the 4th quarter.
Let's
see if they can get that stop they need. On the
draw, and Tony got stumbled and taken down.
After the gain of 7.
That was kind of my fault. I picked the wrong hole in that situation.
The task for the defense here is simple. Get a stop. They've got a 1-score, 7-point lead.
But we're still up 7. But we are in the 4th quarter.
And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. They were looking for a little spark and some breathing room. They got it right there. A gain of 14 and a 1st down.
That was a nice run. Let's get them out of trouble.
Goff now looks to throw.
There we go. Got pressure with O'Diggy, so a 4th down incompletion.
So it looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
Oh, get it! Let's go. Jerron Bland picking up the fumble. It was caused by Vander Esch. Nice job by the defense. And no review, so big time. Well, that was a huge turnover, so now we can pretty much kind of wind the clock down. This one. Try to play keep away. Oh, and Tony Pollard is loose again for another touchdown. Wow, Lions defense really must have just gotten deflated after that fumble. It's the game for them, if you ask me. So, it's part of the onside kick. They did get a touchdown to make it within 7. There's still time left, but you know that fumble that they had, that fumble recovery we had, that really kind of killed their chances for a comeback. So Gallup recovers the onside and pretty much probably take this one home. They are going to give us control of this final drive to put it away. We're running the football for the rest of this one.
Run for Pollard.
And Pollard gains solid 6 yards to start the drive. So.
As they stop it here with 1:07 remaining. So they come up on 2nd down, and they can get another run like we just saw. Would likely put an end to this thing. Going to run again here with Pollard.
Reed, and Pollard gets us another
30-yard line here, right at the 30.
Nice effort there.
Now a second timeout called for by the defense as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. They're not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run with Pollard. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line.
Gains another 1st.
Now the
That's it for the Lions. They don't have any more timeouts.
And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines,
let's go ahead and take a knee, the best play in all of football. And we are moving on to the NFC Championship game for the first time since 1995. It's about time. It is about time.
They go down to a knee, and with that, they're off to the NFC title game.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road.
Big statement win in the divisional playoffs.
About doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand
good effort.
For a win.
Tony Pollard was our workhorse today. We didn't throw the football a whole lot with Dak, but our running game was really on another level this game. Pollard had 3 rushing touchdowns. He was our offense in this one. Dak made the plays when he had to throw the football. Obviously, we threw the football more in our last game, but we had a pretty balanced attack. And that fumble recovery at the end was huge. That took away a possession that the Lions probably could have, possibly either tied the game or come closer to having a chance to come back in this one. But with recovering that fumble, we shut the door on that. So now we're off to the NFC Championship. One game away from the Super Bowl. One game away until we get to Arizona. It's time to bring the Cowboys a championship. Now, I led them to a championship in the franchise that I did that was called Saving the Cowboys. So in the second season, we did win the Super Bowl. But I'm trying to do it once again with these updated rosters. So. What the heck? Did my controller die? That's weird. So, I think my game froze. I can't do anything. My controller stopped. Hold on, guys. Oh my goodness, this is super annoying. Wow. Yeah, it's frozen. Wow. Okay. Well, gosh, that's really annoying. Let me try like one other thing. So, yeah, I'm just gonna have to. Well, I mean, it saved it, so yeah.